Alright, welcome to this episode of my playthrough of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We are in Novigrad, the area around Novigrad anyway. Much to my surprise, a couple episodes ago, I think it was, I realized that, because I thought that Velen was one map and Novigrad was another map, but it turns out they're the same map. They're just different parts of the same map. So this big whole area that I thought was just Velen, and then we have another big whole area of the same size that was Novigrad. Turns out that's not the case. Turns out it was Velen and Novigrad. So we're on the Novigrad side of it now. Because we've cleaned up all the side quests I can do, and all of the points of interest on the Velen side of things. So without any further ado, let's keep exploring Novigrad. Last episode, I found and defeated the White Lady, which this woman, Helma, wanted me to because people were too afraid to go into the fields. It was a noon wraith that was terrorizing people. And exactly to nobody's surprise, that has opened up a few more points of interest. So I am going to... Oh, and hey, there's a stash thing there. Cool. So I got a stash there, and I got a stash down here. So it doesn't matter which side of the Pontar I'm on, I have a stash. Excellent. Well, I'm going to do this one first for no other reason than it is the closest one. Then I'm going to head over here, do these two, and then I'm going to grab this notice board.
The woman's mad. Unfortunately, really. I can't imagine we should expect her to feed that band of cats. Oh dear.
I got a marker for the Glory Gate. Stop laughing. Smuggler's Cache. Dude, you're not a very good smuggler if you're just keeping your cache literally right outside the giant gate of the city. Alright, so what do we got? Kadawani Curios, Mastercrafted Silver Sword, Lesser Glyph of Ard, Alchemy Paste, and some florins. This one, I've got a Lesser Svarog Runestone, Meteorite Silver Plate, Goat Hide, Timber, and some more florins. Next is this last one, which has a Mahakaman Steel Sword, Cavalry Boots, Timber, and florins. Alright, next up is gonna be this guy right here.
Stop coming. There's somebody coming.
Okay. Shall we go stop that tomorrow?
What is it, Grey Boy? Looking for adventure?
Mum, where are ya?
And this is the portside gate. I probably should be taking Roach, but I'm going to walk around and see what I see. Just a lone wolf? Really? I fully expected there to be more. Rangorin. Or Renogrin. That's a new one. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Some wolfsbane. Well, that's interesting. There's a dead body here. But there's like no marker on the map or anything.
Roots pinned this one to the ground, so Hardy's suffocated.
Oh, Lord of the Wood. This is the part of the that is a Red Skull quest, so one that I cannot do right now. It's a level 25 quest and I am level 14. Looks like another smuggler's cache based on the barrels that are floating. Yep, it's a smuggler's cache. And I don't see any drowners or anything. Freya Warrior's Armor, Dorian Sword, Cotton, Meteorite Ingot, Florins. Come on, there we go. Freya Warrior's Armor, Dorian Sword, Cotton, Meteorite Ingot, and Florins, so same. And Hunting Boots, Belhaven Brigandine, Master's Armor Repair Kit, Master's Armor Weapon Repair Kit, and some Florins. Excellent. So the next point of interest was going to be out here on this island. Let's see what it is. I'm willing to bet it has to do with whatever that shipwreck is. Guess not. But there is something up there. Some guarded treasure. How screwed am I? Captain's log. Left Novigrad, heading south to Bremervord, all's calm. Arrived in Bremervord, ports full. 4 hulks, 6 cogs, 1 carrack, and nigh on a dozen longships. Strange, near half the longships carry privateers in the Empire's employ. Now what's old Nilfgaard want a pirate fleet for, and why is she anchored in Bremervord? Done loading, all passengers on board. We're leaving Bremervord, course set for Novigrad. Strange, a mage paid through the nose to share a cabin with the Witcher. Freaks are drawn to each other, it seems. The Witcher's a real treasure. It's not just about monsters. Even customs officers are more civil with Kian around. And they aren't as annoyingly scrupulous as usual. Seems the legends surrounding our Witcher have curtailed their zeal. Pressure's falling rapidly. Winds change directions. Could use that mage now. One that followed the Witcher like a shadow. But the two of them are nowhere to be found. Cowards. Boatswain says he heard a terrible ruckus in the Witcher's cabin this morning, with bright flashes coming out from under the door. Been quiet since. Must investigate. Their cabin's empty. Can't search the ship now. Need to reef the sails. Won't make it to port. Must stay out at sea. We'll raise the staysails and hope the gods watch over us from there. Ah, so that would be the feline gear treasure. cat school gear. This would be the... Yeah, this would be searching the wreck of the Flying Stag. Suppose we can take a quick detour on our way to that point of interest. So nothing above board. Looks like just the one treasure chest here. Mage's Notes, diagram, feline crossbow. Kian has enlisted with the Flying Stag as a guard of sorts. A hefty sack of Novigrad crowns convinced the captain to lodge me in his cabin. All is going according to plan. I'm actually finding this expedition amusing. I'm glad I didn't contract the kidnapping out to some bulgy armed half-wit. I'll do it more gracefully myself. He's cautious. I won't be able to put him down with a casually placed poison apple. Guess I'll have to zonk him out with a spell and whisk him away via teleport. I just hope it won't plop us down somewhere in the middle of the temple aisle instead of in my quarters below it. The power pulsating from my laboratory tends to throw off a good portion of my attempts to teleport home. Very high level resistance to psionic spells, time needed for full penetration of his nervous system, a half hour at least. A few more moments and the Witcher will be ready for transport. Now I just need to wipe our tracks, perhaps a little change in the weather. While waiting for more favorable atmospheric conditions, I looked through his things. Some very intriguing documents. A map of Est Tair, crafting diagrams of Elven Providence, margin note, highly interesting sketch for a one-handed crossbow, most likely used to hunt draconids or ornithopters. Must ask about this during interrogation. Confirms my theory that the Witchers of the Cat School use elven weapons. And, wait for it, Professor Sigismund Gloger's notes. It's clear the Witcher had something to do with the famous professor's disappearance. Think I might have overdone it a bit with those cumulonimbus. No point in tarrying, time to evacuate. Now, on the topic, while I'm here, there are some documents which I've previously read, but it's marking them as I haven't read them yet, so I'm just going to... So this is the White Lady contract, and this is the Gwent tournament. There we go. Is there anything else of use over here? Does not look like it. And back to investigating this point of interest, which we know to be a guarded treasure. What is it guarded by? A level 14 basilisk. I can definitely take that on.
Show me what you got.
So that got me a lesser green mutagen, a basilisk mutagen, basilisk venom, and some basilisk hide. Well, there's some horses, looks like a cow and a pig of some sort, and this body. Svarog runestone, glyph of Ard, pig hide, sapphire dust, Verdun Archer's Gambison, steel plates. And with that having been looted, the game considers this site looted. So next up is going to be heading over to this notice board and seeing what it gives me. Gotta admit, the Redanian side of this area is a lot prettier than the Nilfgaardian side of this area. It's lush, it's green, it's got rich blue water. Not at all the swamp and dreariness that is Velen. Looks like I can get up right here. There's a lighthouse there. So I'm just going to check out this lighthouse, see what it gives me. There's a marker for Lighthouse. Surprise, surprise. Probably don't need to light that right now, but why not? Come on, let me use the ladder. There we go. Nothing lootable here. Something making noise out there, though. And we got a lootable chest on this level. Triglav Runestone, the Illustrated Atlas of Insectoids, Redanian Lager, and Dwarven Spirit. Gave me a bestiary entry. The Illustrated Atlas of Insectoids. Arachas, monst of the Brachioarachnidae subtype, Viper hexapoda, lives mainly in boggy terrain but also in caves and abandoned mines. Hierarchical caste structure with highly specialized members. Master of mimicry, many specimens highly poisonous. Invasive species immigrated from the south, must be fought with silver, ideally fresh coated with insectoid oil. So that gave me the bestiary entry for Arachasai. And nothing particularly interesting up here except for some fire. Alrighty then. Use the ladder, Geralt.
Come on. Slow now. Whoa.
There's a logger's hut here. Just got a new marker for that.
Oh!
Not all like other people.
Oh, sounds terrible.
I found the notice board. Unfortunately, I happened to park Roach right in front of it. There we go. Butcher seeks apprentice. I'm looking for a man who's not afraid to get elbows deep in blood and guts with strong arms and a level head. Work simple, we kill the animals, skin them, and then cut them into smaller chunks. Pays meager, but you get to take as much official or offal and blood pudding home as you like. Luto sit. Dance your worries away. Come to the Cunny of the Goose for an evening of dance. We'll have fiddlers and pipers playing waltzes, jigs, bops, boleros, and Redanian struts. So be you blithe and bonny and come and enjoy some hey nonny nonny. Dwarf seeking female companionship. Listen ladies, I'm gonna be honest with ye. I'm short. The few teeth I still got are yellow, and the bit of hair I've left is shedding fast. I can't dance, ain't much good with words, and the curse of riches don't affect me. At times, I admit, I'll burp after a hearty supper. Yet note that they call me Thorin Steelpike, and not to toot me own horn, but the name fits me and me capacities perfectly. Any ladies interested can send their visiting card. I'll show up post-haste, perfumed, and with a box of Novigrad's finest chocolates in hand. Ah, he sounds like a charmer. Ode. To Podgy Bertha's dandy suitors, to runty oar hands from Mount Carbon, to Bruges' swarthy smiths and coppers, and Novigraders with dead hard-ons, to Tratos' slimy pimps and boozers with perfumed trains of painted tarts, to Cleaver's clowns and red-nosed bruisers, kiss my hairy arse, you losers. To weak-eyed slaves of elven riddles, to Oxenfurt dons and tome perusers, slurping seas of Lilithan's drivel, to fart down throats of others' musters, to fart down throats of others' musers, kiss my heart's arse, you losers. And to those ploughing human racists, sodden turds from northern sewers, you runny squirts in hunters' bracers, smearing witchers with manures, kiss my hairy arse, you losers. Pleasant. Message to our dear customers. Dear customers, wars governed by harsh laws. For almost 2 decades I've imported the finest Nilfgaardian wares to the north and sold them to you at fantastic prices so low, and this, I swear, sometimes I made no profit at all. Sadly, renewed conflict between our nations has made the continuation of this trade impossible. I won't be coming this year for the Beltane fair, so you shan't have any Angren lace, Nazari velvet, or that world-famous Ebbing lemon I know you all are so fond of. Forgive me, good people, and drink to my health. Declan Luvarden. Warning, fair folk, stay away from Velen. Even if they promise you a heap of gold, even if the wild hunt itself's on your heels, even if your whole family's waiting there for you, south of the Pontar, you'll find only hunger and death. A traveler. I mean, they're not wrong. Well, let's see, what is that? Cunny of the Goose, which is such a bizarre name to me. And that did not add much in the way of points of interest. I got this one up here. Sure.
Hey-ya!
What the hell is that? It's a noon wraith. Well, that's a thing. diffused dust, numerate mutagen, and some light essence. Let's give it a quick meditation.
Come on.
Alright, I know Roach won't go into the water, so I'm just going in myself. And yes, there are drowners here. Oh, it's another smuggler's cache. So we got Katawani Curious, a Gvenel Journeyman's Weapon Repair Kit, steel plates, and some florins. And this one we got Sidarian Cavalry Armor, Hunting Gauntlets, Rabbit Pelt, Bear Fat, and some florins. Turn around, Geralt. That's not the way I'm telling you to go. Rusty Novigrad Sword, Knight's Gauntlets, Lunar Shards, Silver, and some florins. Oh, what the heck, while we're here, let's check out this notice board.
Bailiff's a harsh man. Best not cause any trouble at the inn.
Wanted. Cradle, used but unworn. Need a bow to accompany me to a friend's wedding. Willing to trade a leaky pot for a cart? Who writes these notices? Need a witcher?
Any bloke willing to kill a monster, what you would do.
Monster? What kind?
Big, bad, ugly, squatching the sewers. If you're interested, drop by the Garren estate. Ask for Olgierd von Evereck. He's the one ordered this posted.
Well, that was unexpected. I didn't expect to see a cutscene just for checking out a notice board. Kitchen hand wanted. Wanted. Woman who knows her way around a kitchen and isn't overly perturbed by coarse catcalls from regular lowlifes. Generous pay. A rune right upon your shores has landed. To my fellows from the world's other bosom, vast seas have I crossed to reach this, your most fascinating land, to learn the names of the animals which in it dwell, of the plants which in it grow, and most of all, you, its folk. Ravenous waves devoured the tools of my art, yet the rune wright's labor does not with his hands end, for he endlessly strives the world to explore, its mysteries to comprehend. Thus, if you wish to stay a while and converse with a traveller from far-off Ophir, I invite you to my tent, which I have pitched by a mill near the village named Brunwich. Praised be the world in its never-ending creation. Need a bow to accompany me to a friend's wedding. The matter's a delicate one, so I ask any potential candidates to maintain discretion. My friend's found herself a man, and they're set to get married soon. Problem is, I've no bow of my own to take to her wedding. If any intelligent, amusing, handsome, none too old, nor none too young man, only at least one decent-looking frock or robe is interested in accompanying me to her wedding ceremony and the feast to follow, I'd be most thoroughly obliged. In exchange, I can offer a few hours of good fun and good conversation with a lass that dances with the best of them. Alcohol will also be provided. A bashful anonymous beseeching an escort. P.S. If you're counting on taking me straight from the feast to the alcove, be warned. I'm a graduate of the ladies' self-defense courses put on by the Redanian army. But make me a good impression, and I might agree to let you court me properly. Wanted. Cradle. Unused but unworn. Looking to buy a cradle. In good repair but cheap. For a lass or a lad. No knowing as of yet what the wife will pop out. Made of oak, preferably, but pine'll do, long as it's strong and pretty. Because the wife don't like cheap-looking stuff. Best if it were painted with flowers, but I don't really care much. Could be bare, in fact, and I'll paint it myself. Could do that much. Show the woman she didn't marry some good-for-nothing skiver. So you've got something like that, I'll gladly buy it, or even more gladly take it off your hands for free. Jazzy. Willing to trade a leaky pot for a cart. Deal of a lifetime. I'm willing to trade a lovely tin pot, painted with cornflowers and lilies, and showing a few holes, true, but that's a plus, for you can add a few more and look at that, you've got a colander. For a cart. The cart needn't be big, can even be tiny, in fact. Just so that 2 or better 4 people could fit in it, with ample room for bags and sacks, if possible. Could be old, long as it rides well and has new wheels and strong axles, so actually probably nothing made longer than a year or 2 ago would do. Leave a message with Buddy. Gotta admit, the people on this notice board have no idea how to sell themselves. Contract. Monster in the sewers. Let it be known that Olgierd von Everek shall pay a generous reward in gold, jewels, and movable goods, subject to negotiation, to any man who descends into the Oxenfurt sewers and kills the beast which has infested them and taken to murdering the innocent, with an especial predilection for young maids. The task is best suited for a battle-hardened individual, a soldier, or possibly a witcher, who will not run at the sight of drowners, for the sewers are chock full of such nuisances. For more information, inquire at the Garin estate to the northeast of Novigrad. Ask for Olgierd von Everek.
Why don't you all just get off my back?
Enchanting startup costs is a Red Skull quest. Evil's Soft First Touches is also a Red Skull quest. Well, I'm going to call an end to the episode here before I decide what to do next, so you know the drill. Click over there, join me next time, and we'll see what happens. See you then.